Good afternoon. Welcome to Granny Moreno's homestead. Came out today to do a little bit of work and get things ready to finish planting my broccoli. Broccoli's really good and good for you. You know, my happy little chickens have been helping too much. Remember the fence that I put up to keep the rabbits out? Well, it doesn't keep little growing chicks out. They climb over, they fly over. They don't climb, they fly over. They get in there, started eating my tomatoes. Well, that'll be their last tomato because they're going to go in confinement. You know, when it comes to growing stuff, some people are just downright genius. They got a green thumb. Well, mine's blue because I like to wear gloves. Keep the mess off my fingers. Curtis is right here with me, somewheres. I don't always have a green thumb. Sometimes it's just downright black. So, about this gardening stuff, what you need to do is read lots of books. Watch lots of gardening shows where the people actually know what they're doing. I mean, I don't watch the videos where you got John Doe in his backyard with half a dozen tomato plants he bought from Lowe's that are already blooming. He might not know what he's talking about. But I will listen to those that do know what they're talking about. There's a lot of good ones out there. But anyhow, the basics to gardening is you got to prepare your soil. You got to get everything prepared. Dig out the weeds. Well, there's all different kinds of styles of gardening also. Some people do weedless. Some people just plant over the weeds by different methods. There's the Ruth Stout method, which I think is kind of smart for me. But anyhow, the method we used here was we raised the soil up a little bit because I'm on the plateau and we got a lot of rock. Maybe you got rock where you live too. So you build up your bed and you put in what you think is the best soil, the best nutrients. You get it all ready. And once you get it all ready, you plant your seeds. Yeah, and you water those seeds. And you pull the weeds away from the seeds. You go out there and you tend that garden. You like tending your garden? When it comes to the weeds, not so much. Then there's other parts of gardening that you've got to keep up. You got to watch those plants. If you see the leaves starting to curl, or you see them start to turn brown and fall off, or just turning yellow and brown, or sometimes you see a little insect flying on there that shouldn't be there. Or you begin to get a leaf that looks kind of lacy. Well, those are not normal things to see on your plants. No, it means you got bugs, or you got a fungus, or you got something else. So you have to treat the plant. And if it's not treatable, sometimes you got to pull it out and throw it away. But if the soil is prepared and done just right, it will grow. Kind of like in the world I was reading about this morning. You know, I read about it in the Black Book. It was a parable where that a man had gone out to prepare his garden, and then he sowed seeds. Well, around that garden was a lot of rock and stone. And when he threw a seed out, it got into the rock and the stone, the seeds did. Some got in the good fertile soil. And the ones that was in the good fertile soil that he had prepared, it grew. The rain came out. Excuse me. The rain came down. The sun came out and helped to grow that garden. But then those little seedlings that had fallen into the rock, they struggled, some of them, but they sprouted and some of them grew. They were kind of spindly and not so good. And the birds came and they picked up those seeds that hadn't gone in the ground. They picked up those spindly little plants, which that parable lets me know we need to learn to tend our gardens. If you expect to eat a beautiful ripe tomato, then you need to tend your garden. Can't just depend on the rain. It may come to be too much rain or not enough rain. Still got to tend your garden, and you got to have a way to do it. It will grow if you do it the right way. Now, speaking of harvest, we got a harvest coming. It's harvest time, folks. Have you been looking up at the sky? Have you been listening to the news? Don't bother with the fake news. Even within the fake news, it's hard for them to hide what's really happening. It's harvest time. Now, we all have a job to do. Some of us will till the soil. Some of us will plant. Some will pull weeds. Some people will do the watering. Some people will do the fertilizing. But whatever your job is, you need to do it. It's the same way in the garden of life. It's harvest time, folks. Who's going to go out and warn the people and prepare the people's hearts for what we have coming just around the corner? Get prepared. Be prepared. The first thing you need to prepare is the garden in your heart. And then prepare your outdoor garden. Be prepared. God bless you. Have a wonderful afternoon.